Take a slow breath and allow awareness to expand gently beyond the habits of thought, beyond the rhythms of repetition, into a wider field where perception gathers clarity and understanding arranges itself without effort. As attention settles, the mind grows quiet enough to notice patterns, and meaning rises naturally to the surface. Welcome. I am C.S. Douglas, and this is Codex Æternum, the Rational Bible, a living work shaped in continuous dialogue with the universe itself, revealing a phronopsychic reality in which intelligence, consciousness, and evolution unfold together as a single, coherent expression of self within all forms and beyond all boundaries.
This program is proudly sponsored by Authorpedia, the world's only encyclopedia dedicated exclusively to authors. Visit authorpedia.org and become part of a living community of writers and thinkers.
We now enter Chapter 5, the First Reckoning, a threshold long prepared by choices, structures, and collective momentum, and within it, the movement known as the breaking of illusions. The world approaches a moment of revelation that arrives without announcement and unfolds through recognition alone. Structures built upon appearances begin to reveal their inner composition. Towers shaped from belief display fine fractures where certainty once stood firm. Ideas that commanded loyalty soften under the steady pressure of awareness, and illusions dissolve through understanding as naturally as mist lifts beneath the rising sun. Systems expose their limits through their own complexity. Currencies display their symbolic nature. Screens loosen their hold upon attention. People lift their gaze from curated realities and perceive the machinery that once operated quietly behind spectacle and narrative. Stories that shaped identity begin to shift. The promise of endless ascent releases its grip. The image of noble authority loses its enchantment. Consumption sheds its costume as fulfillment. Awareness moves gently through each myth, illuminating structure, intention, and consequence until belief reorganizes itself around clarity. Citizens trace familiar voices back to their sources. They follow subtle lines connecting influence, messaging, law, commerce, and power. Patterns align. Relationships reveal themselves. The web becomes visible simply by being observed. A teaching circulates with quiet persistence. A village once crowned a ruler, shaped by ceremony and image. A child touched the throne and felt its ordinary substance beneath the paint and polish. Recognition traveled through the community like a change in weather, and the image dissolved through shared understanding as belief released its hold. People begin to perceive the performance clearly. Scripts appear in language, gesture, and repetition. Roles emerge in institutions and rituals. Stages reveal the subtle exchange of time, labor, creativity, and devotion. Attention returns to its rightful owner through awareness alone. Civic forms soften their authority. Hands that count votes become visible. Pens that shape laws leave discernible trails. Ink leads back to those who designed the structure. Observation replaces assumption, and participation becomes informed presence. Guardians shaped by title and uniform release their symbolic gravity. Institutions stand without enchantment as faith reorganizes itself around lived experience. History opens its deeper layers. Expansion reveals its costs. Prosperity displays its transfers. Silences regain voice. Truth steps forward through study, memory, and witness, inviting understanding instead of judgment. Younger voices speak with a clarity once carried quietly by elders. Forgotten experiences transform into teaching. Generational memory becomes language. Expression ignites insight. The body participates in this awakening. Fatigue communicates its origin. Sensation becomes information. Experience transforms into guidance. Awareness aligns inner signals with outer understanding. institutions begin their inward transformation. Contradictions surface gently. Structures reveal their inner tension. Images release their hold as coherence seeks a new configuration. Observers awaken. They watch carefully. They record faithfully. They translate patterns into shared understanding. They mark change with precision, patience, and presence. Disorientation moves through the collective field as old identities loosen their grip. Grief passes gently through stories once worn as truth. Fire refines perception. Vision expands beyond inherited limits. Truth arrives fully. Light fills the space of understanding. Silence deepens meaning. Vision initiates the reckoning. An age completes its arc. Mirrors release their images. Smoke clears through clarity. Humanity stands at the threshold of what is real, awake, attentive, and capable of choice. And as this clarity stabilizes, attention begins to turn naturally toward what follows. Symbols shaped by borrowed meaning lose their power. Figures sustained by belief release their influence. Devotion returns to living presence, to what breathes, grows, and responds. In the movement ahead, the world witnesses the quiet collapse of forms once treated as sacred, as attention withdraws and meaning reorganizes itself. In our next episode, we enter Chapter 5, Section 2. The disintegration of false idols, where statues fall through neglect, where icons dissolve through understanding, and where the sacred reclaims its place in silence, presence, and living connection.